Okay, we're good. We're good this time.
Good to know. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Too easy.
It's like the move orders. I mean, you have to nail the right move
Yeah,
order.
yeah.
Okay, I was looking at your games. I noticed something in some of the games you played last week or in the last 2 weeks. Uh, I'm not going to tell you what it is,
Okay.
not just yet, but I guess you're going to guess. Um, let's go through this one first against Fernando Lima. Well, as usual, you got a very nice position out of the opening.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, it's not that Bishop G7 is all that bad, but normally people play C6
Or
or
A6, preparing B5. Yeah,
M5.
yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to have the bishop on G7 when this happens. So it's funny that black usually waits until white plays bishop h6, not playing bishop g7 first. So that bishop h6, well, it doesn't make you lose a tempo when you take on h6. It's a bit, I mean, it's one of the few things I know about the modern. uh, I don't play this with either color, so this knight g4 is kind of useless. I mean, I know it looks a bit um, no, maybe a bit like a nonsense for white, but as long as you have bishop g5, the knight has nothing to do on g4. So up to here, more than comfortable. I mean, this is probably close to, I'm not going to say losing for black, but things are not going well for him. At least it's really hard to castle into this. I mean, it's already very dangerous. I mean, every tempo counts in these situations, and um, black has no counterplay on the queen side as far as I can see up to this point. I mean, he has played uh, this in a very slow way. And now he plays e5, which looks like it should be too much with the king still on the center. What do you think you played here? I don't know, maybe you remember.
Yeah, I mean, um, I, I mean, this is, of course, kind of a pivotal point. Um, how old? Okay, is this game like maybe roughly 4 days, 3 or 4 days old? I think I played DE, and I think I just simply miscalculated. I think when I played this game, I was a bit tired, or Zipper was distracting me. I had some excuse, but um, I think I
Yeah,
played
it might
DE.
be. Yeah, the game might be. Yeah, I mean it's probably from this week because
Hmm.
all of them are, I think. Um, what do you think you should play here, irrespective of what you actually play?
I'm trying to remember what the computer suggested.
It's better if you don't and if you solve it
Yeah.
as if it's an exercise.
Well, see, I was scared of closing up the position with D5 because I'm always scared, justified or not, of overextending and then getting, running into breaks of like C6. And I'm always just kind of scared of that when I could be developing or doing something else. Um, but I think that I didn't. I'm thinking that that might have been the best move here. So that's because he has to move the knight, and but I mean C6 is what I was scared of. But let's just see. So D5. Um, I don't know. Knight E7, and then I guess we just keep going there. Maybe knight F3, and by the time he plays C6, Um, maybe we're just happy with that better development.
Normally, well, first of all, it's not like you're really overextended here. In any case, you'll be winning a space advantage. 97, and it's hard for black to achieve c6 because after d takes, the pawn on d6 is hanging. Though it doesn't look like white is getting so much out of this.
Yeah, because we can't take on d6. Oh, yes, no, we can. Yeah, the knight is still covering e4. Okay. Yeah.
d5 might be a move, but e5 by black is really suspicious here. His king is still on e8. This pin is quite annoying.
Well,
there are things.
That was partly why I took, because I thought, his king is still in the middle, and so I thought, okay, if he's going to keep his king there, then I'll open up the center. But probably since I have more space, I should just keep building on that space, and keep the pressure on instead of releasing some of the tension.
You didn't take on e5.
I didn't?
No, you played knight f3 first.
Okay.
But how about taking? D takes e5, what can black do?
Oh, yeah, there was... Well... I mean, 95 is very tricky. If I go D, E, knight E4, no, then I just take knight E4. Okay, so, well, I mean, I that's funny because I thought that's what happened in the game, but
it happened to move later. And you still hold the advantage. But what happens after d takes e5? How can black take back? What happens if he takes with the pawn? D takes e, d takes e.
Oh yeah, I think we might have had some pressure with knight d5. So if we put his king on d8, so if d takes e5, let's say d takes e5, queen takes e5, knight takes e5, then knight d5, and his king can't go to e7.
Oh, you say queen takes, knight takes, and rook takes. Yeah. So d takes e5.
No, not rook takes. No, I was thinking d takes e5, d takes e5, queen takes d8, knight takes e8, knight e5.
Knight d5.
Knight d5. Yeah. No, because his king. Oh, sorry, his king is still on e8.
Yeah.
Well, right. Okay. Then I wonder, could I go bishop f6, and then knight d5? Because I'm hitting.
At first, I thought that was. I mean, it's very interesting because you hit both. But black has bishop g5 with check.
Oh, right. I remember that now. Yeah.
But still, pawn takes. We can still improve on that.
We could do the same thing, but you kind of gave me the hint. But we go, so d takes e5, queen takes d8, knight takes d8, rook takes d8, king takes d8, knight d5.
Yeah, it's going to be two pieces. Sorry, two pieces for the rook. The two minors are clearly better here. than style. It's not like black's rooks do that much. Um, Black is going to have a lot of weak spots, weak bounce to bounce on. So I don't think black is in great shape here. um, at least it seems, yeah, it seems that
I think it's going to take him a while to like get this rook out since he can't castle and he can't go here. I guess he could kick us. Well, no, I mean I think this is very pleasurable for white.
yeah, it looks quite strong. Um, the other thing is after the takes, can he take back with the knight?
Um, it looks like it. Unless I can play f4 e5. So let's see. Knight takes e5, f4. Knight has to go somewhere. And yeah, because he can't counter with knight e4. I don't think that works. So his knight goes somewhere. I guess it goes back back to c6, and then I have e5, and I guess he's screwed there. I mean, he just there's nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's even worse. Definitely. Yeah, f4, knight somewhere, e5, and you make the most out of it. This is just losing a piece. Oh no, he still has knight d7.
Well,
Maybe I went.
no. But can't we do what we did before? Rook takes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the move. It's still possible to go wrong, but yeah, but with rook takes and pawn takes,
What?
it's just strong.
I was thinking knight d5. I guess it's similar, I guess, or maybe
When?
no before here instead of fe. I was thinking knight d5.
Knight d5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then maybe we lose the f pawn at the end.
Yeah, in this case, you still win the knight.
Yeah, but
capture.
if we go fe here, we don't lose the f pawn.
Yeah, yeah, this should be stronger. And again, it's going to be two pieces for the rook. Two strong pieces. So yeah, d takes c5. Well, you see, calculations are the priority again. D takes c5 seems to be winning for white at this point. So you play knight f3, bishop d7. This is still very bad for black. I mean, his position is quite restrained. And he has real issues with this pin. It's actually quite annoying at this point. Bishop d7, now you took back. This is the move why I wanted to see this game. What do you remember what you played here?
Yeah, I think I played something really stupid, like bishop b5.
That was the next move, the next to this one. But first, you played a different thing.
I'd be a little surprised if I played knight d5. That would I don't think I would have played knight d5. So The other thing that comes to mind is bishop h6, but I don't know if I would do that here either, because he hasn't committed to castling yet. So I don't think I would have played bishop h6. And then I guess, oh, I wonder. No, there's no way I played bishop c4. That would be weird. Unless maybe I did, because I might have been thinking about bishop b5, and then I started to think about bishop c4, and I was looking at tactics like this, and it might have been bishop c4, because I think I was looking at. I think I just calculated it wrong, but I think I was looking to basically like deflect his king. But let's see, what was my plan? It was, if that was what I played, bishop c4. Yeah, maybe I would. I took on f6. Okay.
Yeah.
I know. It's weird. This game, I was a little distracted because I remembered, like, I played some really weird moves. So I took on f6. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, bishop takes f6. Bishop takes f6. What was I thinking?
What was the plan here?
I don't know. I think, I don't know. This was not a great game. I did not play well this game.
Though you won in 23 moves.
Oh, yeah. Well, he played worse. No, honestly, I think I have it on stream. I think like Zipper was doing something, because I vaguely remember this, and I'm like, what am I doing? I have an incredible position, and yeah. So I played bishop f6. I don't know. I think I simply miscalculated. I don't think that I thought he was going to take with the queen. So I had to have assumed he was going to take with the bishop. So bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6. I mean, I guess, I mean, I think he said next move I play bishop b5, but that looks weird too. I mean, you would think, if anything, I would follow up with knight d5. Like bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, knight d5, and then if he goes to g7, what was my plan? I totally forget what I was thinking there. Makes no sense. He just goes back to g7. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very strange move because this pin is huge, and your dark square bishop is great.
No, I just yeah, it wasn't like I don't know. I just messed up. Like,
I mean, what about, for example, knight d5? That looks like it should be a strong move.
I think I might have looked at that, and then after knight e4, after knight e4 and bishop d8 and knight d2, he's up a pawn so far, I guess. But then I've got stuff like knight c7.
Knight takes c7.
Yeah. Well, but then I might lose the knight too if I do that. Yeah, if king d8, knight a8, but then my knight's not exiting. But then I could take his knight on d2, and I'm not sure okay, let's see. He would have gotten a queen and a pawn and two minors. I would have gotten a knight and a rook and a queen. So I'm trying to think who would be material there.
Oh, I just saw something that I think might be strong. I don't know, but it really looks strong. I'm thinking about knight takes c4, bishop takes d8, knight takes d2, and now bishop f6. Bishop f6 looks.
threatening G7 and C7.
Yeah, and the knight on D2 is also hanging.
So, but then bishop F6.
Bishop takes F6.
Yeah.
Knight takes F6 with check.
Okay. King E7.
King E7. Rook takes D2.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to tally up the casualties. Black must have gotten ahead there. What he would have gotten a queen, queen and a pawn, and a bishop, and a knight, and we would have gotten a knight.
Yeah, you have
a queen.
Two.
Yeah, and yeah. Black would be up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but you were afraid basically of knight takes e4.
Well, I honestly.
It's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I was thinking that clearly this game, so I don't even think I calculated this really, other than slightly. Yeah.
I was thinking. I mean, now the threat is just to take on f6, and this one is hanging, so well, it looks quite threatening already. I was thinking about bishop e6 as well, more or less the only move.
It's not possible to go to the source game, right? It doesn't link it here anywhere. Oh, it does. I just want to see. I'm just going to look at this game, and I want to see what my time was here.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to see if I was distracted. But no, I wasn't. I was moving at a decent pace. So I don't know. I guess maybe I wasn't distracted. I was just not playing well.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some calculations to do, but it's quite clear that black is doing all the suffering.
Yeah, like I think if I remember correctly, like I wasn't worse, but I had such an advantage that I just let the advantage slip right through my fingers.
Yeah. Here you can even play queen e3. Yeah, even with quiet moves, you're destroying black at this point. Yeah, just 95 seems to basically end it, because the pin is so hard to counter. And the bishop on d7 is also hanging. I mean, he's clearly too late if he wants to castle. After bishop takes, then bishop b5 followed. Yeah, he kicked you back to a better square, which is good. You went back to c4.
Yeah, I know. I remember when I was like, oh, I should have just went there to begin with. I just gave him
And now, yeah, he's more or less off the hook. I mean, at least compared to what the position looked like just a couple of moves ago. He castled, then.
Oh, it does keep the time. I guess once we go to the book moves, it keeps the time. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, only in the annotations and variations.
Okay.
You just don't see the time anymore. And then, well, he just overextended, as you say. You got there first. I mean, apparently this h5 is just.
I think once he let me get bishop d5, that completely turned the tables again.
Yeah, now it's harder for him, definitely. And h5 is the decisive mistake. He can't prevent that, amazingly.
Yeah, I know these patterns very well from Woodpecker. So, and and I also got this idea from it won't let me go backwards from Sveshnikov, because I think, where was it? Oh, sorry, I can't go. I can go backwards. I can't go forwards.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me enable the normal analysis mode.
Okay.
It's in normal analysis mode. Okay.
But yeah, I just.
Sorry. There it is.
Okay. Yeah, but just this, there's always this I mean, here it's a little bit different, I guess, but so it's not quite the same as a Sveshnikov, but often you can put the queen here and yeah, and go down this file. But yeah, I mean, once he played h5, and I think I remember that black with that could still hold here if he didn't play h5. I think it was still equal. Oh yeah, so this is what I was planning. Yeah, so when I played h4, there's this trick in the Sveshnikov where exactly, yeah. So I'm always acutely aware of that. And then h5, I knew that h5 wouldn't work for him either because of exactly what happens. But I do think there was at least one like pretty equalizing move for black. I think basically if he just ignores it, maybe even bishop, probably to block this bishop. So
yeah, dealing with this.
Yeah, I think maybe bishop e6, and that's what that's what I thought he was going to play. I thought if I'm black, I'm going to play bishop e6 here.
Yeah, definitely. This one has to go. We can't play with that. Yeah, I was interested in this game mainly because of this move. Because of the kind of position, it's a mix of a position and tactical mistake.
Yeah, it hurts for you to pick this out because normally I don't. Well, you said you've got a few of my games, so maybe you'll prove me wrong. But especially that game, like that was one of the worst games I've played this week. What I did there just gave away my advantage.
This is another. It's not the same, but it's kind of similar. You were playing black.
Yeah.
And you took on e4 in this position.
This was like, yeah, it was kind of a strange opening. It wasn't a straight up Grand Prix, but it was kind of, I think, kind of a Grand Prix style.
But he played with f3. It was very odd. f3, 5. Then he pushed to f4.
Yeah, let's see.
He might have dropped the button.
Right. Yeah, this was bizarre. Yeah. Yeah.
And he gave up the bishop too quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, with this pawn structure, of course, he has to retain the light square bishop. He's going to try to exploit this. I mean, now that you have the light square bishop and he lacks that one, this is, well, not much sense. It's without the presence of the bishops. It's funny, but it's even hard for white to push the kingside pawns. It's tough, and you always have ways of blockading that. And also, this is mainly your plan now. In fact, you can play bishop c6 and d5 right now. That's probably the easiest way. You played b5, which is also right. Knight g3, bishop c6. And now knight h5. You do have to be a bit careful in the sense that, well, he's clearly trying to eliminate your defending pieces on the king side. Maybe you can go b4 and d5 right now. I don't know, but knight takes is still quite all right. But apparently d5 is not. At this point, white had this.
Oh yeah, I gave up my knight. Normally my knight defends h7 there.
Yeah, and h6 is now almost impossible to play because of bishop takes, so rook f3 was strong at this point. But he went back, which looks really slow, and it is. It's actually really slow. You took here, and he took back with the knight. Apparently it was better to play bishop h6 just to make you put this bishop in this very ugly position where it's blocked by the pawn e5, but well, that's a small detail. Knight takes, and here there comes, well, similar. Of course, he's threatening this stuff, but if you can deal with f6 in
Ah, I
a
remember.
different way, yeah.
Well, I just remember here because I remember really thinking in the next move or two, if first of all, if I wanted to trade queens, and secondly, if I wanted to play, well, the move order of how I wanted to trade queens here, because I think even here it might have even been this move that queen, like I could play queen d4 first, and then bishop takes, but that doesn't. Yeah, but then he would have the pawn on d4, or I could take the bishop right away, and he could take with the queen. It's, I mean, it's very similar, except in one of the, if I go queen d4 first, he doesn't have to trade queens. But if I go queen d4 first, then we're trading queens. Well, no, still not necessarily. Um, It's your, yeah, that's what I was thinking at the time, but maybe it's no different really. I guess the difference is his king will, but even that he could still just play rook f2. So yeah, maybe it's not a big difference if I go queen d4 or bishop e4 first.
Yeah, the main point is, do we want to trade this bishop? um,
Yeah, I don't know. He was starting to give me a lot of headaches here. With that, like that knight is, and that pawn. um, this is my better bishop. I recognize that the light squared bishop, that's our star bishop, and that's the bishop that we want to highlight. But at the same time, that knight is pissing me off. So yeah. So I don't know.
I want to see if we can deal with the knight in another way, because after you take, not only you're parting with your better bishop, you can have some problems on the light squares.
It just feels like, what other way? To me, it was like, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, if I don't take it, what am I going to do? My bishops suck. Like, what am I going to do? Play f6?
You want to undermine the defense of this knight. This is coming at some point probably, but you have to deal with f6 first. So what if, I don't know, you give the check as you wanted, kill each one, but then instead of just taking the knight and even allowing this, which I'm not really sure of, I mean, what's happening here, black is certainly taking an important positional risk because of the light squares. Though your queen is active, so it's still a bit of a mess. But you can even play f6 right now. What happens here? Now it's hard for him. I mean, now he's the one who has to deal with this c4, undermining the pawn on d3. The knight is very beautiful as long as it's well supported on a central outpost. Up to this point, it is. But if you get to undermine its support, that knight is just another tactical weakness.
Rook d1, rook d8.
Rook d1.
Yeah, rook d1, rook d8.
I might be thinking of c4 right now. You can do this one too, but you don't even need to play it right now.
Okay, so DC. Oh, sorry. Then his knight falls right away. Okay. Yeah. What about? Can he go queen f3?
Queen f3, rook a d8,
and bishop e3.
Queen takes probably, yeah.
But then we have knight, knight f6.
Oh, this
Ah,
might.
maybe.
Oh, rook takes.
Oh god, go
Yeah,
too
it is.
bad. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, in fact, it might have happened even here, but there's still rook
Yeah.
takes. Uh, yeah, and you have a clear plan. You're going to undermine the support of the knight on e4. Actually, you're threatening this right now. um,
Hmm.
yeah, it's really hard for white to deal with this. Um, but when you take on e4, you give him some nice chances, especially by taking with the pawn right now. Um,
This is, you know what this is, Alessandro? This is me being lazy. I think in the previous lesson, you showed me a couple games that you played when you were younger. Uh, that's kind of me being lazy because I have a pretty good position, and I didn't want to do the work. I get tired. I get tired or lazy halfway through, and instead of doing, because you said like one of your specialties is one of your strengths is kind of grinding out, kind of equalish positions in the second half, or in the end game. But that's not that. Yeah, that's one of my weaknesses. I guess I need more patience.
yeah, I mean it's um, yeah. Sometimes you want to get it over with, deal with the beast that is annoying us. The knight on e4 actually is. I mean, this is a different example from compared to the last one because the knight is actually good. I mean, the knight on
Mm.
e4 is impressive. The problem is that you're getting rid of your best piece, and if you compare the pieces that are still left on the board, then this bishop is not looking that handsome. And that's the main problem. The pieces that are left, not so much the pieces that leave the board. Um, and here, yeah, I'm liking white prospects. I mean, you absolutely need to get some counterplay down the d-file, I guess. Otherwise, if white puts a rook on d5, he will be positionally busted. And I don't know if what f6 has to be played. I hate the idea of playing f6 because the light squares are even um,
Our bishop goes
weaker.
from bad to worse too.
Yeah, and I don't want to play bishop
Hmm.
f6 either. It's an ugly move to make. Um, but it might be running out of options in that sense. Um, well, let's say f6 for clarity's sake. Um, I don't know, queen f3 maybe, or rook
Rook
d1
d1, rook d1, yeah.
d1 is possible.
Oh,
Queen f2
rook d1 is gotta be it, right?
looks like it, though I'm still a bit worried about queen f2.
Queen
Um,
f2, bishop h6,
oh, bishop h6.
and then rook d7.
Oh, that's a very nice one because if rook f2, then rook f7, rook d2, and the queen has nowhere to go. Whoa, you can't go back here, you can't go back there. That's really nice. Looks great. Queen f2, bishop h6, rook f7, rook d2, trapping the queen. Oh, yeah, and if you can't go to f2, um, yeah, um, this is not holdable
Yeah,
anymore.
because rook d7 anyways. I guess he has to play. Well, I guess he can hold a little bit there, but then we're going to bring in the other rook. But wait, no, but yeah, but wait, no, because yeah, bishop h6. Yeah, I don't know. Once bishop h6 comes, yeah. So let's say like he goes queen a4, like queen a4, bishop h6, rook f7. I guess we go rook d7, trying to double up.
Queen takes.
Sorry, where? No.
Queen takes c2.
Okay, so rook d7, queen c2. Rook c1?
Rook c1. Oh, c1. Yeah. Rook takes b2.
Yeah, I don't know.
Driving pawns.
Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, is there back rank mate? Because I was thinking then we go rook takes c5. Unless you have a back rank mate. Right? Because if he goes bishop takes c5, then we have rook takes rook takes f7. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know if there was a back rank.
Well, we don't even need to go for this. You can just play rook d2, I guess, and
or we could play b3 here, and then rook d7.
b3.
Yeah,
and this should be enough.
Yeah.
Queen b4. But you put the rook on d5 or d7.
Yeah, it's pleasurable for white, I think.
Yeah, positionally this is great already. But as it was, he took with the queen. You gave that check,
Yeah.
and he takes, which is a huge concession. I mean, this is bad position mistake by him. I mean, king here is just all right, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I love my pawns compared to whites. So.
Yeah, now it's great because you have this half open file to put pressure on c2. It's just ugly for him. Oh, you took with the e-pawn.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, I remember thinking here, and I was like, oh, the C file is good, but something changed my mind. It was really close, but yeah, I liked the C file, but I calculated something, and obviously I calculated wrong.
It takes the structure is now symmetrical.
Yeah, but there was something, because I was considering CDA. I was considering that open file. But what was it that I didn't like? I was scared of something.
In any case, you're deciding everything with F6.
It might have been, again, I'm always scared of getting undermined, and so I'm scared. I was scared of C2. C3.
Well, that would just expose his own pawns. I mean, undermining is great when you can put pressure on the undermined pawns, but it's also hard when you expose your own pawns to achieve it. I mean, after the exchange, for example, rook f8, and he has to defend somehow. I mean, these pawns are so weak. You're just one move away from defending yours, and well, he's not in a position to say the same. For example, well, rook d1, I guess it's
actually
close to being rook f3.
I was thinking maybe it's not good because it blocks the c file, but I was actually thinking bishop c5, just getting his king further away from the center first, maybe.
Yeah, can also work. Giving a check first, and only then rook f.
Yeah, then we can maybe double up on the d file. Or...
Yeah, I mean, now that we play this, we're not thinking about rook a8, so we we can double there. And yeah, it's I guess white is going to lose a pawn at some point. I don't see how he's going to. Actually, rook f3 is not an option anymore. Now e4 is a problem, so he has to put it on d1, where it's incredibly passive. Now just rook d7, I guess, rook d5. I guess that's a choice. Yeah, this pawn is just potential victim. Yeah, both pawns look really weak. If you take with the e pawn, the problem is that this is absolutely symmetrical. He put his bishop on d2, which is weird, since he can put it on f4, where it's clearly better placed. And now everything is okay for white, I guess. No, I don't see any problems. But if c takes d, this is really hard to defend. I mean, your plan is really clear. You just double up on the c file, and that pawn tends to suffer a lot. So it takes bishop d2. Very strange to play the most passive move. If you had the choice between f2, f4 and d2, it's clearly f4. Bishop f6. What was your plan?
I think I I think I just wanted to control the e file. I mean, I guess he could go there first. I mean, in hindsight, bishop d6 would stop bishop f4.
Yeah, and the bishop is not as restricted as it's
Yeah,
been.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I was also scared of f6 being something at some point. Yeah, maybe I was scared of f6. That's what it was.
Though f6 is at least double-edged, because this pawn can also become a weakness.
Yeah, I know. This is scary though. I've been stung a lot, like this thorn pawn.
I mean, I'm not so scared here because there's only one open file.
But what about if like bishop h6 and then he puts rooks on e1, e2, and then king f2?
Yeah, but the thing is, how is his rook? How is he doubling his rooks here?
Yeah. Okay. So bishop h6 and rook e8, rook e1, and
now, well, first of all, we have to get our king to the center somehow.
Yeah, that's the only move, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are no other useful moves, apparently. So bishop f4 maybe? And trading is definitely a bad idea. We just need to change everything, and then this pawn might be a weakness.
Is it though? Like, can he start throwing the g pawn at us? Like, okay, so let's say bishop f8, king f8, g4, g6, h6. Is that what we would do? Or would we?
Maybe I'm thinking if
maybe.
Yeah, I'll probably do this because if he plays this, it's going to be hard because this is not possible break. So yeah, let's say we do that.
And then maybe we trade rooks. So rook e1, rook e1, rook e8.
Yeah, but it's white to play now.
Oh, okay. Okay, so king f2.
king f2. Okay, let's say we pull the trigger already because we have no more moves.
Rook e4.
Rook e4. Interesting. But now I have this nice
4-3. His king can't leave.
Yeah.
Would this be a draw, maybe?
Now I think white is very close to losing this. Because this pawn is so weak. Now after this maneuver, I don't know how he's going to defend that.
Oh yeah, black's winning here.
It's very similar to the endgame that you played a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, the crippled majority. Yeah.
Yeah. White went too far with his pawns. I don't know if this is the case. I mean, going back to bishop d6, I don't know how. For example, here it's not necessary to he can go back to f4. And it's not that clear how black is going to untangle, to be honest.
What do you think? I mean, this might be a bit silly, but what about rook e6?
Rook e6, well, that's definitely an idea if you can block, but I'll probably not go for this if this is the solution I have I have in hand. Rook takes, pawn takes. Well, there don't seem to be any discoveries after f7, so yeah, this is still annoying. He puts the bishop on e5, I guess.
Okay, rook e8.
No, I'm sorry. It's rook e6, rook takes, pawn takes.
You're taking. So rook e6, you're going. Okay, I see. So rook e6, rook e6, f takes, and then bishop e6. Okay.
Bishop e5. This is the only move we can't allow here.
And then rook d8, I guess, when we can.
Yeah, this is a plan. You put the king here, so you block the pawn, and then you have this.
Well, I was actually thinking rook d8 and then bishop e6 was my plan.
And bishop d6. Well, but you have to play king f7.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying after that. After king f7,
yeah,
I was
bishop
thinking.
d6, eliminating this bishop is also going to be a resource.
Because then I think he'll be slow with g4, g5 will be too slow.
Yeah, in the end, you want to play against the pawn on f6. Yeah, it might well work, and it would be a nice solution if it does, because it's very forcing. I mean, after rook e6, you're going to double, so...
Maybe he goes rook e4. Rook e6, rook e4.
Yeah, but the beauty of it is that you also use its pawn. And this change in structure always favors you. I mean, this is not a structure he's looking for, definitely. Your pawns seem to be stronger than his. And the pawn f6 tends to be weak if he doesn't have the counterplay down the e file, apparently. Well, in any case, bishop f6, and well, the game now took a different turn, and it was very long, and it's, I mean, it's not about the theme we're looking at anymore. I find it really strange that he plays h4. I have to say that.
King 4 looks. He was playing very quickly. He spent just 3.5 minutes here. So.
Yeah, that cost him a defeat in an equal position. In the end, you ended up winning this one.
I think I go awkward. Okay, never mind. Keep going.
I'm sorry. And this is the last example I wanted to look at.
The Snyder variation. I don't know it very well. It's pretty rare. This B3.
Yeah, it's strange. I have never crossed this. I mean, I was never faced with this. You played bishop g4. bishop c4, and you took on f3. Um, I, yeah, I was
Surprised?
kind of baffled by this one.
Yeah. I don't look at my time. Was this 30? Was this 30 minutes? No, it couldn't have been. Must have been 20, 25?
The
25. Okay,
25 and
okay,
3 seconds. Yeah, it
okay.
wasn't very odd.
Um,
And taking on f3.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I am trying to. Why did I do that? I forget what I was thinking. I have it on. I could go back and check the video because, but um, you know what I think it part of it was? Again, laziness because I think I was lazy to calculate. I was scared of this type of thing. Um, and instead of dealing with it and calculating like an adult, I just took the knife. So I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I honestly I think that's kind of partly what it was, and maybe part of it was thinking I could have maybe I could maybe possibly I was thinking knight d4 follow up.
yeah, at some point it happened. You put a knight on d4. Uh, well, two things here. One of them is this is not even a threat, even in this position, because if it was white to play and he plays bishop takes, then king takes, there are no discoveries. I mean, 95, that's a very good
Queen,
response.
what queen takes? Can I do that?
King takes,
Yeah.
you defend the bishop, you end up winning a piece in that case. Um, so yeah, this is not a threat even in this position, and it's your move. So for example, you could take, which looks perfectly reasonable for me. Then you're just going to complete development. And I don't see where white is going. I really don't understand his setup. Um, and the second thing is, it's important to realize that this is a huge
No,
concession. Now white is definitely better. I mean, it's positional capitulation. um, why do you think it's such a big concession taken on
I
three?
don't have to think.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. It's it's hard for me to explain why I played that. The only thing is I think it was laziness that I was scared of some types of discoveries on my knight, and I just thought if I take then I don't have to deal with that anymore. It was just a really stupid decision. I agree. Like okay, so like why is white better? Well, look at the position. He's got the bishop pair. He has two active bishops staring down on my king side. He has a open F file ready to go crazy once he castles and then goes FE or once the F file opens. Or he could castle queen side and just do a pawn storm with G4. What's not to like?
Yeah. And the main positional feature, you have no answer to this bishop. The bishop on
Yeah.
c4 is a killer on the loose. And all your pawns are on dark squares, all your central pawns at least. So yeah, you essentially have no counterplay, and this hole is so big. I mean,
It's a very interesting opening for white, I gotta say.
yeah. Uh, if I mean if you don't take here, it's actually putting a lot of pressure on you. um, so well, continue knight f6. He just castle. Bishop e7, knight c3. Uh, castles
I'm starting
e3.
to get to breathe a sigh of relief now because things are starting to look a lot more decent at this point.
94, 91.
Yeah, now I'm back in the game, I feel.
You're essentially, I think you're close to being positionally lost still.
Still.
But yeah, but he's definitely going on the wrong direction. And that's what's interesting about it. Yeah, because you essentially have no control over the light squares. And that's going to be a huge burden for you. I mean, he can deal with his knight, he can prepare c3, and you can't say the same. Here he makes a very bad move. f5 is quite bad. I mean, for one thing, it allows b5, and now he has now you have a shot at his bishop, which was unthinkable just a couple of moves ago. But let's say he takes on e5. What do we do now? And now a5, for example. Well, he's fixing your pawns. Next 95 is coming, I guess.
Yeah.
After he plays c3, this bishop is just going to dominate. You have no answer to this amazing piece he has there. But yeah, he has to basically fight against your knights. And once he leaves you with your bad bishop and no answers, this bishop is just the deciding factor, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure this doesn't work, but I almost rook takes f6 is something.
It might well be at some point.
Yeah, because like
I don't know.
Because like there's b6, you know.
Yeah, but we can go back to the 8 with the bishop.
Yeah. Like maybe it's too much, but it looks like it's almost like he can almost get away. Yeah, rook f6, bishop f6, knight d5. Because I don't really have any. I don't know what I do. King h8 or something.
Yeah, but in this position, it's black to play.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just looking. Okay. So in this position, well, it's hard. I mean, I'd like a light squared bishop, please. Yeah, that's. I don't know. We can't really do anything. We just have to wait for white to.
Yeah, that's the main issue.
I guess knight 98.
98 to transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 95.
Yeah.
Or even queen h5 hitting f7 and e5. Yeah, this is really hard. I guess queen h5.
g6.
g6. Queen takes.
Oh, whoops.
Bishop d6 might be the only move.
Bishop f6.
Bishop f6.
But now we can't put on. Now we can't put on knight on e6 anymore or d6 anymore. Yeah. No, this is. No, I don't want to look at this anymore. Yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah, it looks quite daunting. I'm even hanging this pawn, but I'm not sure if I can anymore.
Well, it's not hanging right now because then bishop f7.
Yeah.
Or rook f7. Even is rook f7 better? No, maybe is it though? Maybe rook f7 is better.
Yeah, I'll then checkmate. Yeah. No, it's. Yeah, I mean f5 is positioned really bad. He's not realizing that he has to keep the bishop. The bishop is essential here. And now, the tables are turned somewhat. I mean, it's not like white is losing or anything. It's a decent position, but it's definitely not a clear advantage to him anymore.
I think I remember my opponent. He was 8 years old. So yeah. because his dad
Uh,
messaged me after the game and said like, thank you for playing. My son was happy to. It was my the first time my 8-year old son played a streamer. So
oh,
yeah.
he was following the the stream.
Well, I don't think he was watching
Uh,
it, but he just knew because there's when I stream, it shows in the corner that I'm streaming. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
him on the okay.
But
Um,
but yeah, just a kid.
he plays quite well. It has to be said. I mean, these 8-year-olds are quite impressive. um, so you played Rook B8.
Mhm.
Yeah, you probably can stay on the A file. I don't know.
I thought maybe there's some cases where I have to protect B5. Yeah, I know it's already protected twice. I don't know. It was. I feel
Choose
comfortable.
yeah.
I feel comfortable staying on the back rank. I have no other rook.
Well, at least you're in this bishop. That's a huge relief. 92. Well, you took here. And then, well, a lot happened. Queen g4, f6, knight h5, queen f7. Um, and then you were even winning this. G5, knight g3. Well, it ended up being a very strange draw because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
You're probably
second,
wondering what happened, right? Oh,
yeah.
come on in. Come on. Yeah. I offered him the draw. um, I think if I remember correctly, computer says I was winning like -2 or -3. Um, I also felt. I'm trying to remember why I offered it. I think that I was winning. Like I do think I was better a little bit because I usually only offer draws when it's either completely equal or I'm a little bit better. Um, but I think I just was scared of like Queen C7 for no reason. Um,
A good thing, his king is also quite open, and this knight is inactive for now.
I think the other thing was I thought my bishop wasn't. I didn't see how I could play with my bishop, and I think I was scared that eventually like he might hide on h2 and then his knight can do something. Whereas my bishop, I didn't know what I'm going to do with my bishop. Like I guess like maybe I
Yeah.
can go here, but that's a long journey. But I think that's what constituted my draw offer. I thought his knight eventually might get active, and my bishop is just not going to ever do anything.
Your extra pawn should be
Oh wait, was this?
important
Wait,
here.
sorry, was this a game? I, oh no, wait, was this a game? There was a move here. There was a move here which the computer showed me, and I thought, oh, it's so freaking simple. I yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if I had more time, I mean, I had a lot of time still, but often when I start to get low on the clock, I panic a little bit. But it's not like it's a hard move to find. It's very, very basic, but such a simple move, and that would have been just completely winning. I think if I just play Rook B5 there. I remember that after the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on c2 and f5 is also hanging there. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And yeah, well, the thing I saw in common in these three games is that you were a bit too light in just giving up your bishops. Um, I think we discussed this once, but at first sight it might not seem like much, but in many positions, giving up the bishop is just too important. And not even in the long run. Sometimes it just shows immediately. In this game, for example, it was quite notorious that giving up the bishop brings quite ugly consequences because you had this exact pawn structure that was giving him uh, a very nice advantage, thanks to the fact that he has the bishop that you don't own, and you have no position to it.
You,
Uh,
it's funny. It's funny that you found these three games because normally this is. I mean, these games were pretty unusual. I know, I know you hunted them down, but yeah, normally I quite value bishops, you know, and normally I don't really make these decisions, but obviously I made them in these games, so I still need to watch out for it.
Yeah, it was mainly this last week's games, and that's what caught my attention. That all of them were very recent. um, but yeah, sometimes, I mean, especially when we play rapid games, we tend to um, try to clarify things, maybe get some exchanges, and things like that can happen definitely. uh, but yeah, they have to be addressed because it's important to be aware to what extent this can ruin our position. It can be pretty bad. I mean, even here, when you said that you thought that you were mainly off the hook, you're still losing here, basically. I mean, this is positionally terrible for black. As long as this bishop stands here, um, it's just a matter of time and some precise maneuvering by white, fixing your pawns, and then kicking your knight out. And it's going to be very noticeable that this bishop does everything, and your pieces are quite useless at this point. Um, but yeah, it's just important to notice, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I will certainly try to be more aware of that in the future. I mean, each of those situations, I thought about the moves, but yeah, God, looking at everyone, it's hurt. It's painful to watch. Like especially that first game. Oh, it's just so ugly. Those decisions I made. Like, oh man, like.
If you have a minute, you can go to the other study, lessons two.
Okay, I'm here.
Um,
Sanguinetti.
yeah, against Fisher.
I think I heard of him. Yeah.
This happens to Fisher too. I would feel so bad after this. It's well quite a typical King's Indian. Uh, White is back, of course, on his base advantage, but Fisher already got in this break with C takes D5 after C takes. White has a really nice base advantage, but Black is very, very active. Um, White is threatening to play b4 here. Fischer makes a mistake. He plays queen b4. I know this isn't such a nice move to make, but maybe it was just necessary at this point. I don't know if it solves anything right now. Actually, I think knight c4, knight c5 was his real mistake. Because now b4 is a threat, and after queen b4, Sanguinetti makes a very strong move that simplifies things and leaves Fischer with the wrong minor pieces. What can that move be?
I see. I have kind of two main ideas. I'm not sure about this. This could probably be bad because of f6 being weak, but I was thinking one idea is bishop f6 g5, with the idea of h4 h5. But again, I'm kind of worried about this f file. And the other idea I was thinking of was bishop h6, but I'm not quite sure how I will capitalize on that. Like, he just does nothing. Bishop h6, he does something, and I don't know how I capitalize on that.
In fact, you have to be a bit careful because this queen is active and is almost there. Yeah, this can become messy really quickly. Bishop h6, bishop takes, queen takes, bishop takes g4, for example. And I don't know what's going on there. If pawn takes, knight takes.
Yeah, there's just no follow up. There's like the queen on h6. There's no follow up there.
Yeah, and taking is, well, if you take a look at your pawn structure, parting with this bishop shouldn't be so easy. And as you said, if you take on f6, bishop takes f6, g5 is basically the only move. Otherwise, this bishop is is invading dark squares pretty soon. But even then, after you play g5, black is going to play f6 in any case. Bishop is coming back to life, and the f file is a problem, and you lose control over the dark squares if you don't have this bishop. That's the main thing. White doesn't want to trade this bishop. Fischer actually is aiming at a very active position. He's going to bring another rook, one of the rooks to c8. Some tactical shots are going to start to appear, but Sanguinetti found a way of diffusing black's activity. If he's able to manage to trade queens and trade a couple of minor pieces, white is going to be really cramped because that's where white's advantage lies. He has a nice space advantage. So there came knight b5 with forced simplifications and greatly favorable simplifications, because there's no way of avoiding the trade of queens at this point. There are no good squares. Knight takes d6 is a threat also. So queen takes, and now the problem is that we have to defend d6 somehow, and knight e8 fails to bishop e7. So there's not really good way of defending these seats. So Fischer had to give up the bishop. And it doesn't seem to be that big of a problem. You might think, okay, the position is quite close. In nature, it shouldn't be that great. But there are two things here. White has this great space advantage. There are mobile pawns everywhere on the board, so the bishops are still useful. So that's White's advantage. And things just turned around from, I don't know, a couple of moves ago. And now, well, the game was long, of course, and Fischer defended, but this is an ugly defense to put up with. Well, bishop f6, now he trades, but only because he's winning the fight for the c file, I guess, and the knight has really nowhere to go from f6. I mean, if you go to d7, you're just conspiring against this knight. Rook hc1, a5 to deprive white from b4, bishop b5, and yeah, it's complete domination. Even in a position that is quite close, this bishop is still superior to the knight. I mean, he's trading one advantage for the other. Now he's opening up another front, and the space advantage gives him that. I mean, yeah, he can just bring his pieces quicker to one side from one side to the other of the board. And this knight is, well, it has nowhere to go really. G8, check, king f6. Now he wins the g file, almost. F4. There, rook g5. Pawn takes, king takes. The knight is still useless. It's funny because the bishop of b5 is so strong. Rook takes, pawn takes, king e7. Okay, check e5. Well, he's creating a pass pawn. And now the conversion. It's watch play and yeah, win basically.
I don't know. Reaction is to play king f5.
King f5. Well, I guess we should take in that case. But it's still very advantageous.
Yeah, I guess I'll take king e5.
King takes e5.
King e7? No.
If he goes back, it's
e6 check.
Yeah.
Then king e7 again. Then I go. Then king c6.
This looks quite good. I mean, it should be enough to win. Sanguinetti just played a tactical low. He goes his seats right away, which is a surprising move. But after pawn takes, g seats, this pawn is unstoppable actually, because the king also comes to the rescue.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it looks weird, but yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible how quick the pawn is. And now the final blow.
Rook takes h5.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's very nice. The top of the king is also coming to rescue. Fischer tried.
I think this might be in Woodpecker.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they are games.
They're all from World
they select
Champions, so.
yeah, all from
Yeah.
World Champions games.
Yeah.
Okay, even the ones they lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, probably Fischer was thinking about some sort of fortress. That's not going to happen with so many weaknesses. They kept playing for a while, but it's a win. I mean, there are so many weaknesses in Black's position. Probably Fischer banked on the fact that this rook is cutting the white king. But he's now in Sukso. I mean, more than in Sukso, he has to defend both pawns, and he can't. Because he can't get this rook out of here, or the pawns are going to start to fall. So rook e4, king f5, king to b5, and finally queen takes d6. And that's basically check. And now he takes because there's no rook c5 anymore. Rook e6. Requires patience though. I mean, Black puts up a fight for a while, but now it's time to resign because queen c5 and d6, queen c8, and if you put the rook on b6, there's a check and checkmate. So, I mean, you see, the bishop is quite strong, even. I mean, in this situation, Fischer was forced to give the bishop. It's not entirely clear or easy to see here why the bishop is going to be so strong in this endgame, but actually dominates the board. As there are mobile pawns, the bishops are just too useful. There are on both sides of the board. Then it was a matter of transforming the advantages. That's why we saw so many exchanges and stuff like that. But normally these guys really care about their bishops, and they even find maneuvers to try and get the pair of bishops as soon as they can. And Joe Fisher was quite unhappy when he saw that this this happened to force him to give up the light square bishop here. Okay. So
yeah, it's interesting how, I mean, there's not too many of them, but you know, there's a few grandmasters that maybe prefer knights a little bit more. I mean, you've got Anand comes to mind, but of course, we're talking like at their level they prefer it, which means a whole different thing, right?
Yeah, you do need to create the conditions for that to be possible. Yeah. All things being equal, you can say that giving up the bishops tends to be dangerous. I mean, normally you see that people do it, of course, when it's clearly better to have a knight or to draw some positional concession from the opponent. Because those bishops, b5 followed by bishop takes a6, for example, have a very good reason behind them. It's not something that we should automatically do. I think that's the main take from all this. There has to be a mission for that exchange, since it's usually not so neutral.
Yeah, and some of my rationale for doing that was out of laziness, you know. So I should again maybe fight a little bit and work a little bit harder to not give up, you know, the bishop so easily.
Yeah, try and calculate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was useful. Thank you again, Alessandro. It was nice seeing you again, and we'll stay in touch.
Of course, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great.
Okay.
I like seeing that you play a lot of classical. That's something.
Yeah, but I have three more games left, and then I'm done my 200 game classical challenge. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break with some rapid and a tiny bit of blitz, but mostly rapid. I'm going to play. If I win my next game, it'll be a new personal best on rapid, and if I win my next game, I'll get I'll be over 2,200. I'll hit 2,200 for the first time. So we'll see. But I'll play a little bit of rapid, and then I'm probably going to work on a lot of tactics or a lot of puzzles, because I hardly ever do puzzle practice. I just don't like it. But that's probably going to be my next challenge. It's lots and lots of puzzles, and I'll get back to classical eventually, because I do have to prepare for my tournament in November. So.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it was nice seeing you again, and I'll see you next time.